Get ready for 3 boho-inspired DIYs. They're easy to make and affordable too. Plus, as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So as you guys know, I've been trying to use this extra time to just get my life together, get my space a little cleared up. I showed you guys how I did this shelf right here. I did some fun lining in it and just some decorations and organization. I did this one too, just to give me a little bit more shelf space. I absolutely love the retro fabric and I just love the way my craft space is coming together. So I needed to make a few more little things to like put on the shelves, just bring some color and brightness in, because that's what really inspires me. Colors, brightness, and flowers. Those are the things that just make me happy. So today I have 3 boho inspired DIYs for you, and I really hope you enjoy them. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Everybody hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And when this is over, don't forget to head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite, or just say hi. I also wanted to share with you guys one more thing that is just bringing me joy right now, and it is this company called Thread Tank. So I got my hands on 3 of their shirts and they are absolutely living up to their slogan, which is stories you can wear. We all are kind of living a story right now that we never anticipated, but this shirt is my story right now. It says, "Crafter's gonna craft," and it is so true. I'm hearing from so many people who are staying at home, not going to the store, but digging through their kitchen cabinets to find things to craft and create, and I just love it. I just absolutely love it. I also got this t-shirt which says, "If it involves glue guns, sewing machines, and discount stores, count me in," which is 100% my truth right now. And one that's kind of special to me because my husband and I love sitting down and watching old episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air together. So this one got me right in the feels. This shirt says, "Yo home, smell you later." It just tugged at my heart a little bit, so I had to have it. I am 100% loving these t-shirts. They are so soft. You guys can't see my bottom half right now, but I'm in pajama pants. This shirt is super soft. So this is what is making me happy right now, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So right now, if you head down to the description box below, you will find a link to a 10% off your entire purchase discount code. That code is good through August 31st of 2020. So head to their website, scroll through all the sayings, just have a good time. I know we're on our phones more now than we normally would be anyway, and this is just something that just tickled me looking at all of like the sayings and everything. So I want you guys to head there and check it out. Okay guys, it's time to craft. So I'm going to start out with these 2 pictures from the Dollar Tree. When I got them, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but the color is perfect for this DIY, so I decided to use them today. I'm just going to pop that back picture out of them, and for a Dollar Tree item, those are glued on there really well. So I had all this paper left over that I could see when I looked through the front. I tried to just pull it off with my fingers, which was kind of tricky, but I found out that if I put some hot glue on there, when I peeled it off, all the excess paper would come off with the hot glue. This was the easiest way I could think of to do it. Of course, whenever I ask you guys, you come up with much easier ways to do things after I've struggled. So please leave me a comment down below if there's an easier way that I can tackle this the next time. So I wanted to make this a little bit deeper. I liked how the frames were kind of a shadow box, but I wanted them to be even deeper. So I glued both of them together. Now I thought that it would just be a flat surface to glue together, but there was actually an indentation at the back of the box, which meant when I glued it together, I had this opening right in the middle. So instead of thinking of this as a flaw, I looked at it as an opportunity for a design element. So I took this rope that I had. I got this off of Amazon. I love the size of it. I used it in the DIYs where I did all the planters, wrapping it with this thicker twine or rope. and it turned out to be the perfect size to fit right in the middle. Of course, you can always use the Dollar Tree twine, or if you have the nautical rope, I would untwist the rope and just use one of the sections of the rope, and that should fit nicely within this little opening. And I actually like how it came out. You guys know I love rope and twine and natural fibers, and this just gave another opportunity to add it into this project. Next, I grabbed one of these little mini flower pots that they have at the Dollar Tree, and it was the perfect size to fit right in the middle of my picture frames. Now, what I love about this project, guys, is you could get any picture frame you want to do this. You can do an even bigger one with a larger flower pot, or you could do a bigger frame with a smaller pot, and that would leave a lot more space for it to hang. So you can really make this project your own. So I took 4 lengths of twine and I just tied them together, making a knot at the very bottom. And I didn't measure this out to any specific length. I just made sure that I had a good amount of twine because it's easier to cut some extra off than it is to add any on. I made sure that it would fit around my flower pot, and I just kind of put it inside of my frame, added a little more, like an inch or two, to account for where I would need to tie it, and then I tied off a knot right on the top. Now I tied the knot loosely at first so that I could put the flower pot in there, see how it hung 1 or 2 times, and it was easy for me to just make the knot a little bit higher or a little bit lower until I got it just in the right position. Next, I divided the rope, putting 2 on one side of my frame and 2 on the other, and I just wrapped them around, hanging my little flower pot until I could tie it on there nice and secure. Now, this is where if you had bigger picture frames, you would be able to decide how much you wanted this to hang. If you wanted to hang low with a lot of twine showing, this is where you could use a lot of your creativity. Now, I was using what I had on hand at home, so I had these mini picture frames and decided to use the mini pot, but I think in the future I might make a few more of these and maybe hang them from different heights. I think that would be really pretty to put them all right next to each other and have a little bit of height difference in between each one. I think it would be really cute detail to add to the decor in my room. So I just tied a knot right on top, snipped it off, and that was it. After looking at this for a little while, I did decide to go ahead and paint my pot. I painted it white and put a little bit of black detailing around the top. I think this looks perfect with the boho feel of my crafting space, and I love how this came out. For my next DIY, I decided to use these little box drawers that they have at Dollar Tree. I bought these a long time ago and never really decided on what I wanted to do, but now was the perfect time to make something out of it. So I used some Waverly chalk paint. I believe this color is called Agave, and I painted the outside of the box. And I wanted there to be a strong contrast between the outside of the box and the inside. So I decided to paint the inside of the box this flamingo coral color. I got this at Walmart. It was only 50 cents for a bottle. I used this also on that DIY where I used the rope and twine that I got to make some planters. But you guys, I've been completely obsessed with this color and using it on every project ever since. So I did not paint all the sides of the box at first, but I did go back and do that. So make sure you paint all sides. And I decided to use this ocean color on the inside. I wasn't sure about it. Let me know what you guys think about that blue color on the inside. So I had this piece of scrap fabric that I thought would be perfect for this. I have a habit when I go to Joann, if some fabric catches my eye, even if I'm not sure what I want to do with it, I'll buy a half yard or so just to have it on hand. And that's why I had that here. I thought the colors went great with what I painted my box with, and I love the boho vibe. So I turned it over and I kind of set my boxes to be on the part of the pattern that I wanted to show on the front of my box. So as you can see, the little shape cutouts, that's going to be the back of my box, and I am going to decoupage some of this fabric right onto the front. So I laid it where I wanted to go to capture the part of the pattern that I thought would be pretty on each box. I cut out the square, and I did that 3 times for each of my boxes. Next, I just laid the fabric right on top of the front of my box, and it was a little bit big, so I trimmed it down, and I also decided that it would be cute if it had a little bit more of a design element to have a frayed edge. So I cut it down to the size that I wanted, and I removed a few pieces of the thread of the fabric so that it would have those frayed edges. Next, I needed to use some Mod Podge to decoupage my fabric onto my box. So I started out with just a little bit of Mod Podge in the beginning so that I could place my fabric exactly where I wanted it to be, making sure that all the edges were exactly inside of the box and that it was sitting the way I wanted it to. Then I went back and filled in the rest of the space with my Mod Podge, and I smoothed it out very nicely, making sure to get out any little bubbles and making sure that my fabric was nice and flat. Now, when we do our next step, you want to make sure that you keep your frayed edges down in the direction that they should go. So you can't just paint your Mod Podge over the top in the same direction, because then the frayed edges on one side are kind of standing up. So I went around the edges in the direction of the fabric, and then I put the Mod Podge down in the middle. And this is how it turned out. The Mod Podge created a nice protective layer, and I think it looks great. Next, I needed to add some twine because, well, I love it and I add it to a lot of my projects. Now, I intended for this to be a flower pot at first, so I went ahead and just wrapped my twine all the way around my box on the inside. I did notice that this took up a lot of space inside of that outer box, making it harder to pull out. So if you want to use this more as a drawer, I would say to not wrap it around, just put a little twine knob on the front and secure it nicely with some hot glue, and that'll allow for this to go in and out with a little less resistance. But the design element that I wanted to add was to wrap it all the way around that inner box, and then I twisted the 2 pieces of twine, and then I wrapped that twist all the way around to make a little knot in the front. I did end up going back later and putting a little dab of hot glue behind the knot just to keep it in place. It wasn't strong enough to pull this in and out because, like I said, the box was really full with that twine on the side, but it made it look perfect for what I wanted it. And I just absolutely love the way this looks. I think it adds the natural element to it, and it goes along with all the colors. So now it was time to assemble my boxes. I only had 3 of them, so I'm going to do this kind of triangle shape. If you have an even number of drawers, you can do rows and columns and just attach them that way. Any way you want, you can do this project. I'm just going to use a few dabs of hot glue to attach all of my boxes, and I didn't want this to be too secure because when I'm able to, I think I might go back and add some more boxes to this. And that was it. You guys, I absolutely love how this came out. I love the fabric, I love the colors, and I love how customizable this is. You can do this same project with buffalo check, with flowered cloth, any way you want to make it your own. For my last DIY, I wanted to add a little bit of color to the vases that the succulents from Dollar Tree come in. Now I'm using these that are already white, but you can do this with a flower pot and paint it white. Now, of course, I'm going to use my favorite color right now, that flamingo coral color. And what I need to do is come up with a color gradient because I want this to have kind of an ombre effect. So I'm going to take some of my white paint and I'm going to add my coral into it. Of course, as I showed you in the beginning of this DIY, you can do this with any color you'd like. But I'm going to paint my pot with this lighter color. Now, because this pot was so small, I did end up going about 3/4 of the way up. If you're doing a larger flower pot, you could do it just at the bottom and get a really beautiful effect, having it mostly be white with the ombre at the bottom. Use your imagination with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it, and I'm using my blow dryer to go ahead and speed up the drying time because we need it to be completely dry before we add our next layer. Now I put some of the original color on my plate and then added some fresh paint to our lighter color that we made because we want the middle color to be somewhere in between the two. So putting the original color really helped me to make sure that I didn't make this too close to the original. Once we have our color that's somewhere in the middle, we're going to paint another layer. Now, you guys, what I love about this is you don't need to make straight lines. There's really no way to mess this up. You're just going to go ahead and make some organic waves, some highs here, some lows there, and it makes it really fun and easy to make a fun shape without having to worry about it being perfect. I do, though, try to look at the original shape that I made, and I try to make the next layer be opposite. So if the wave is going up in the color above, I try to make it go down in the color that I'm using, and this just adds some fun difference in shapes. And then lastly, we're just going to put the original color on, so that should be the darkest. After we have all three of our layers on, you'll see this beautiful ombre effect, and I think this is just a fun way to spice up any pot that you have. Really, I think it would be adorable on mason jars. It's a fun, quick activity that you can even do with your kids. So usually when I'm doing my DIYs, I like different ones for different reasons, but today my absolute favorite is that little chest of apothecary drawers. I love the color, it's so bright, I love the pattern and the natural fibers, and when I can get out, I fully intend to go and get maybe like 5 or 6 more so I can build that out into an even bigger chest. So head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. So today I have a treat for you that is semi-homemade, it's super quick, it's absolutely adorable, and it goes right along with our flower theme. And I really hope you like it. Okay guys, it's time to eat. So I'm gonna try and use what I have on hand in my kitchen. So for this DIY, you can use cupcakes, you can use cookies, it doesn't matter. This was just some box muffin mix that I used. I had needed some sanding sugar. I only have pink, but I think this would be adorable if you did it in a lot of different colors. When I do this again, I will go to the store and get more colors to make this project. You're also going to need mini marshmallows. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your marshmallow and cut it diagonally across the marshmallow. This will reveal the sticky inside part of the marshmallow, which you'll put face down into your sanding sugar. Now the sanding sugar should stick only to that inside sticky part and leave the outside nice and clean, like this. So I'm going to go ahead and use 5 of these half marshmallows and put them around in a circle to make some cute little flowers. This is so easy to put together and it looks adorable. Now you could leave it like this, or you can add a little touch of frosting to some pearl sprinkles and put them in the middle of the flower. This is a fun way to jazz up a birthday cake, cookies for your kids, and kids could do this project too. Now I'm going to show you another way that you could use the same technique to make a beautiful flower. This is such a fun, easy, and affordable way to decorate. I hope you enjoyed the DIYs you saw today as much as I enjoyed making them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite, and I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.